Hello, everyone. Welcome to CyberLink webinar. My name is David. We are now doing a live casting from Taipei, where it's CyberLink's headquarters. So it's now 7 p.m. in Taipei, and it's lunchtime in UK. So say hello to the friends from UK. I hope you can enjoy our webinar together with your fish and chip. And also, we got a lot of friends joining all over the world, from Denmark, from Sweden, from Finland, from Israel, and many other countries. Oh, yes, and also from South Africa. So say hi to everyone, and we hope you enjoy today's webinar. Okay, so it's summertime now in most of the country, except for down under countries. So most of you just got back from your spring vacation, and some of you are planning to go to your summer vacation shortly in July. So I hope today's course, we can give you some ideas of how to use CyberLink's PowerDirector and PhotoDirector to make some amazing travel videos and photos. Okay, so before we get started, if you're accessing from YouTube, you'll see a little chat window here by your side. So you can have a live chat with us. We are having Angela and Elvis, two of CyberLink staff, being online to do the moderators to answer your questions. Okay, a quick heads up for today's session. So today we'll be doing several demos around PowerDirector and PhotoDirector. So the first one will show you how to use PowerDirector to create a photo slideshow, which is pretty basic and pretty fast. And second demo will be showing you how to use Sim Designer. This is another tool available in PowerDirector 13 that you can easily using the drag and drop template to create some Hollywood style 3D animated video. Okay, and the third part, we will be showing you how to do time-lapse video with PowerDirector. And the fourth part, we will show you how to merge these time-lapse videos together and adding some professional-looking titles and effect for your travel video. Okay, and the last part, we will be showing you how to manage and editing your travel photos with PhotoDirector, our photo editing software. All right, it's time to start. So let's starting with our first demo. Okay, most of you, I think, when going on a trip, most of you are taking photos more than videos because maybe out of the capacity limitation of your memory card, or it's easier to take photos instead of videos. But a lot of you want to make these photos into slideshows so that you can watch later on your TVs, and you don't want the very dull transition effect on the Windows player or on the Windows picture viewer. So the first demonstration will show you how to use PowerDirector to turn your travel photos into a slideshow. Okay, so you can see here a bunch of photos that I took when I went to Fukuoka, a city in Japan in 2012 with my friends. So let's see how to make them into photo slideshows. Okay, so upon launching PowerDirector, you will see three big icons. The first one is the full feature editor, which is the traditional timeline interface of PowerDirector. And the second one is Easy Editor. And the third one is the slideshow creator. So today we'll be showing you how to use a slideshow creator to quickly generate a slideshow video from your photos. So click on the slideshow creator. You'll launch this interface. Okay, so there are 4 steps to make a slideshow. The first one is import all your photos. So I can select all, drag and drop it to my photo queue. So you can see now these photos are in place. Okay, and after this is done, if you don't like some photos, maybe like this one doesn't look that pleasing, I can remove it. And if I want to edit back, I can just drag it in and drop it back to my project again. Okay, and the next step, click Next. You'll go to a panel to select multiple templates. So we got 13 different type of slideshow templates to show for you to use in PowerDirector to create slideshows. Okay, so there can be photo montages, or can be like this template with some photos in frames. So in this demonstration, we'll be showing you how to, I'll be using this one, Cell. Okay, so we don't want to make the slideshow pretty boring, so usually we'll be adding some music. Click on this button and add a music to background. So you got the music now ready for the slideshow. Okay, so here's another button called the slideshow preference, and where you can choose whether you want to fit your photos to the music, which means your music will be playing the full time. Or the second way is fit music to photos, is that it will cut and auto fade out photo slideshows when the playback of your photos is done. So in this demo, I'll choose the first one, fit photos to music. Okay, and for the sequence, you can also select like from the timeline order, which means in the previous interface, how you arrange these photos in the queue. Or the second one will be using the date and time of taken photos. And tick this on is a detect face, so that when there are faces containing in your voice, the template will auto-center your face to the template. Click OK and go to next. Okay, so PowerDirector will start to generating and putting your clips onto the slideshow template. Usually take a while because there are a lot of high-resolution photos, and there are a lot of animated effects inside of the template. So you can have a quick look at about how this video will be looking like. Okay, so as you can see that PowerDirector also auto-mapping your photo to the music bit. So you will not make the transitions of each photo effect pretty strange. Okay, and what if we want to do some change on the photo sequences, or I want to rearrange the layout? For example, this one, I got a photo with my friends, and I want it to be in the bigger block instead of this small one. So you can click on Customize. Here you can see each slideshow being showing as a single module. So to rearrange the sequence, you can just click on this one and swap it and drag and drop on another one. So PowerDirector will change the sequence of these two photos. Okay, and like this photo, I want to recenter the face of the boatman. Although the face is there, but maybe the resolution is not high enough, so it didn't detect correctly. So I can click set the focus area and drag it down a bit. So now it's in the correct position. Okay, so if you want to add more photos to this slideshow query, you can also click on add photos. For example, this one. Then I want to replace this car photo. I can drag and drop it on here. And to take it back, I simply drop the original photo to this block. So it's pretty simple. And once everything is done, you can click next, can click OK to continue your editing. So after clicking OK, you'll go to preview mode again because it did some changes. And you can preview it here. And if everything looks fine to you, then you can go to next step, to production. So here are three simple menus. The first one is produce a video. So you can output to maybe MKV or AVI or MPEG-4 file directly so that you can upload to YouTube or share it like a video file. And second one is create a disk. So if you want to burn your production to a DVD disk or AVC HD disk or even Blu-ray, you can use this create disk feature. And the third one is advanced editing, which will bring you back to PowerDirector's main timeline interface. So in this demo, I will use this one. Okay, so you can see the photos in the media room and the slideshow objects are being imported to PowerDirector already. So I rearrange the sequence a bit. So I don't know how many of you are pretty new to PowerDirector, But anyway, I'll spend 1 minute to quickly walk through with you the UI logic, the interface logic of PowerDirector. So you can see at this block, at the top left side, here is the media room and the effect room and whatever resources you want to put in your video. So you can see the first tab is the media room, where you can find your imported photos or videos or music being put here. And you can also switch this little button to change the scale of your media room preview. Okay, and also in the media panel, you will see like video effects, PIP objects, titles, and transition effects, etc. Okay, and at the right side, this is the preview window for PowerDirector. So you can real-time preview what is going on with your video, what's the result and then look like after applying some effects. And the bottom here is a timeline interface. So you can imagine it's a desktop or a workspace of PowerDirector. So you can put whatever resources on this timeline. So here's a time code, which means it's from beginning from 0 second to the end of the video by time sequence. And also we got the multiple track from top to down. Okay, so the object in the timeline track with larger number means it's in upper sequence. So here's a quick reference. For example, if I want to add a title to this set of a video, I can go to the title room. And finding all my contents. Okay, so for example, I want to add this one, this airplane title on my video. I can drag and drop on the second track. So there you can see what it's looking like. That this title is being overlaid on the video. Okay, and what if further I want to change the text on this title set? You can double click on it, and you'll enter the title design room in PowerDirector. Okay, so to change a word here, for example, I want to change it here to Fukuoka, Japan, and change this to Jimmy, Caroline, and Stephen. Okay, and you can see what the text is looking like when then overlay on the object. But it seems this font size is a little bit too large. So I can select it and resize the font. So for example, I change it to 24 so that it can fit in to the frames up and under. And I can move it a bit. So now it's in the right position in the template. However, it's looking a little bit not so good because on this light background, you can actually not see what the text is writing about. So the third part, we will showing you how to add some shadows on this text. Maybe it can help a lot. So select the text and go to shadow. Okay, you can see here's a font shadow. And I can choose the color. I want it in black, so like a real shadow. Then the next step, I want to change the place, the distance of the shadow, so you can like move it around to see what is the correct place for you to place a shadow, and what's the blur level, and what's the transparency. Okay, it looks a little bit better now. And I want to set the shadow direction to here. So let's take a look how it looks like. Here you can see now the text is readable. So if you want to do the change of shadows on the second line of Word, it's the same way as we're doing in previous demo. So when it's done, click Save. Then this title set will be overlaying on your slideshow video. Looks pretty nice. Okay, so I'll quickly show you what the end result of this video look like. Okay, it's a pretty simple way for you to do a photo slideshow from all your photos. So this will be our first demo. So I think everyone can do this little thing, this quick slideshow in like 10 minutes, which is pretty nice. Okay, so this is the end of the first demo. Oh, by the way, if I'm going too fast, please text on the chat room and let me know. I'll slow down. Okay, so next demo will be showing you another feature of PowerDirector that I mentioned before that most of you are taking photos and not taking that much videos. But what about you want to also use some videos in your template and in your slideshow, and you want it to look more professional, dynamic, and more colorful. So in PowerDirector, we actually having another feature called the Theme Designer. So I'll quickly show you what the end result will be looking like. Okay, so you can see in this generated video, actually we are having a mixture of videos and photos. So like in this big block, the London Eye is a time lapse and it's moving pretty fast. So how to use PowerDirector to create this kind of template, this kind of video? Let me quickly show you. Okay, so enter the Theme Designer interface. It's very easy. So again, we launch PowerDirector, click Full Feature Editor. Okay, so as I explained that this place will be your media room, so you can drag and drop all the source clips you want to put in this video, in your final production in the media room. So it's simple, just drag and drop to the media room. Okay, so you can see everything is in place. And the second one, how can we do that kind of a good-looking video slideshow? Then select all the photos. You can press Control-A to select all the photo and click on this little puzzle sign, which is a plugin of PowerDirector. So select the Theme Designer. So here you'll be seeing the Theme Designer's main interface. So upon launching, you'll see a lot of different templates being built into PowerDirector. Oh, by the way, if you're using version 13 Ultra and above, you'll get most of the template here. And we got many different versions. For example, if you're using 13 Deluxe, so then some of the templates may not be available for you. Okay, so for example, I can have a quick look at what each template look like. For example, this travel one, and this one for action sports. And if you are doing the wedding video, you also have a wedding album, which is pretty nice looking. So you can see a lot of numbers, 1, 2, 3 on this template, which means where you can insert your videos or photos. So Theme Designer, each theme is composed of an opening and a closing and at least 2 to 3 middle shots. So to select the theme, you can either click on the theme's name, which will help select all the themes for you. And if you want to do the mixture use, you can also, like, for example, click on this one, click on this one, click on this one. Then I select totally 8 themes and click OK. Then you can see all the templates are being put in place. And what if I want to have more template? You can click on this one and adding another new section in this queue. Okay, so you can rearrange the sequence to whenever you want. All right, so let me show you how to use the Theme Designer. So as I explained that all these blocks are like open for your personalized media. So here you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can see an icon here where you can drag and drop your media source too. So 1 means we'll be filling into the block 1 here, and it's a photo only. And if you want to insert a video, then this one will be photo plus video icon. So how to do this? It's pretty fast. I want this one. I drag and drop here and here. And also, if I want to use this video clip, I can drag and drop to the second block where we are having both videos and photos. So sometimes, because the theme designer will automatically help you inserting the music. So sometimes I don't want music of a video clip interfere with the background music. So I can click mute to mute this clip. And let's have a quick look how this will be looking alike. All right, I'm thinking this London Eye clip probably is too long. It's taking like 15 minutes of my video, but I want to have a very quick-paced video. So how to make this clip shorter? Click on this scissor sign. You can enter the crop interface where you can drag two sides of this clip to make it shorter. So for example, I only want 5 seconds clip, so I can make it shorter. Click OK. So this video will be trimmed down to a shorter duration. So here again, this is how the video being put and photos are being put in the templates. Okay, and we also see some text here, right? And how to change this text. It's simple that in each time set, there are titles or they are text. So I can actually inserting the text here. So for example, this one, the first text, my title, and I want to change it to London. Okay, so this text will be changed to London. And the same for the second shot. We are having add the text here, so we can change to let's go. Okay, so you can see the text are being changed. So it's the same when you want to insert your clips on all the other templates. But what if I'm pretty lazy? I don't want to do them one by one. I want PowerDirector to help me auto-fill these clips. It's also simple. You can click on this area and click select all, which means I want all this being the source to fill the project. And click on this icon to auto-fill the template with the library order or with using video first. So I'll use the library order because I already prearranged the sequence for the photos. So wait a few seconds. So you can see on all the templates, these photos are being inserted to the template. So let's take a look at shot 2, how it looks like. Okay, so that's the interface of theme designer. So once everything is done, click OK. Then your theme designer object will be bringing back to your timeline that it's here. Okay, and if you want to do some changes later on, you can click on this object and click on theme designer. You'll be entering the theme designer interface again. And another way to make it a little bit more professional is that what if I want to make more dynamic, making the transition effect between two clips more nicely looking and more professional? You can click on, for example, this one and adding transition. Click on this transition icon. So I want to have, let's say, fade. this film stripe. Click on it. So you can see it's being added between clip 1 and 2. Okay, and everything is done. Click OK. Then you will bring your object back to PowerDirector's timeline. So that's the demonstration of Theme Designer. So Theme Designer can help you to generate 3D animated videos pretty fast. And we got 20-something templates already building into PowerDirector. So you're actually having different themes to choose from, like travel, like action sports, or like wedding, or like holiday, or whatever. Okay, so that's the demonstration of Theme Designer. So a quick recap, we have in first section doing a photo slideshow to a video. And the second is using the mixture of video and photos into 3D animated template with Theme Designer. All right, so that's the basic part. Then in next demo, we'll be going to a little bit difficult demos. So bring back my presentation again. So the next section, we will show you how to do time lapse. So I don't know how many of you have been doing time lapse video before, and I think a lot of people are from UK, so you're probably familiar with the BBC TV series Sherlock, played by the name Benedict Cumberbatch. Okay, so the opening credit, the opening video of BBC's Sherlock actually is a very nice example for time-lapse video. So time-lapse, you can imagine, is like a fast-forwarding video. So it's playing like 30 times faster than regular speed. So it's really helpful for you to record something like a sunrise, sunset, and people walking on the street, or like a cloud in the sky, and etc. So I'll give you a quick example of what the time-lapse will be looking like. So this one I'm actually taking in Taipei, the city where I'm living in. So this one is the landmark of Taipei. It's Taipei 101. Used to be the highest building before Burj Dubai was built. Okay, so you can see the traffic on the street is actually moving very fast. It's like some Lego toys moving super fast on the street. So in a lot of my travel, I really like to use time-lapse as a travel record, because it's like helping you to condense a super long video and watch it in a shorter time. Okay, so I'll show you how to make time-lapse. So as I explained, that time-lapse is like a fast forwarding of the video in 30 times. And the traditional way of doing time-lapse is actually taking a series of photos in a set interval. So for example, if I'm taking photo like 1 shot per second, which means in 6 minutes, I can get totally 360 photos. Okay, and remember, it's all being taken like 1 shot per second. And when generating it to a time-lapse video, the 360 photos on a 30 frame per second, or we say NTSC format in 30p, it's like can generate 12 seconds of time-lapse video. And if your project is 24 frames per second, then 360 photo will give you 50 seconds time-lapse video. So it's actually, you can imagine that each second of your video is composed by 30 different frames. And each frame we're taking in 1 second. So it's like a fast forwarding for 30 times. And how to take a time-lapse video, here are some tools you will need. So the first one and the most important one is that you need to have a tripod, which can help you get very stable shots from your camera, because you can see all my previous time-lapse set is actually fixed to the same focus and the same distance. So the autofocus or whatever won't be moving a lot and causing the jittering of your final rendered video. Okay, and second thing, that you need to have a camera, of course. So there are several different type of a camera set you can use. The first one, the more traditional way, is that if your camera doesn't have a built-in time-lapse mode or the interval matter mode, then you can have a camera that's, if your camera does support the timer remote controller, which like we're showing this one is a Canon model. It's supporting a timer remote controller. This controller will help you to release the shutters of your photos in assigned durations and taking the shot as you desire. For example, I want to take 1 shot per second and taking like 6 photos in total, then I can set on this timer remote controller. Okay, and some of the newer models like from Panasonic and Sony, some of the model already supports the time-lapse mode. So like myself, I'm using a Panasonic's Lumix GM1, which already got the time-lapse mode built-in, which is easier. You can do the same, set the duration and set the interval of each photos and press the shutter, and you will take the photo automatically. And the third way is that if you got the GoPro action sport camera like GoPro or HTC Re, or if you are having an iPhone which is running iOS 8 and above, actually this device you can take time-lapse out of box. But in today's demonstration, we'll more focus on the situation 1 and 2 of how to merge your photos into time-lapse videos. Okay, so when taking time-lapse photo sets, there are 2 things very important. The first one is that make sure that once you get the correct focus point with the MF mode, then please, with the AF mode, the autofocus mode, you get the correct focus point. Then please switch it to the MF mode, the manual focus mode. Because when you're recording time-lapse photos, there may be some objects moving around. Like, for example, the set I was taking, it got a lot of cars running on the street. And this will cause the autofocus changing the focus point of the photo set and will cause the jittering of your final production. And the second one is the same, set it as a manual mode to control the shutter speed and aperture. And this is very important when you're taking some condition that when the lighting change a lot. For example, sunrise or sunset, and the light will change if you're setting to auto mode, then your lighting condition will change based on the environment, and which will also give you a very unstable shot. So make sure if you got the correct shutter speed and correct aperture set, then switch it to manual mode to not touching the settings. Okay, so we'll quickly show you, let you know why we are preferring using photos to make time-lapse instead of using videos like a GoPro to record directly. So the first one is that because it's a camera, so you got versatile aperture and shutter speed settings and combinations. So can help you record like this one, the car track. And when composing this type of photo to time-lapse, it actually looking pretty cool. That it's not like in the movie Tron, that you cannot see the car itself clearly, but you can see the car track. And the second one is that usually the photos will be higher, will have higher resolution compared to video. So for example, if you are having a 2 million pixel photos, which is already higher than the 2K resolution, and not to mention that nowadays most of the cameras are available are able to taking 10 megapixel or higher resolution photos. So once you've got the higher resolution photos, which means you can generate a higher resolution time-lapse slideshow, like a 2K or 4K resolution in PowerDirector. And even though your final production is in 180p, this higher resolution this higher resolution video can allow you to do some like crop the video, zoom or pan the video in your project. So it's more flexible for you to use. All right, so that's a quick catch up of what is a time-lapse video. I hope I'm not going too fast. So next we're going to the demo. Okay, so here's a set of photos, totally 309 photos. So from my formula, if I'm setting the I'm setting the timeline frame rate to 30 frames per second, which means this 309 photos can help me generate 10 seconds, slightly longer than 10 seconds of videos from this photo set. Okay, so have a quick look at these photos. That actually it's taken the same 1 second per shot. So you can see the cloud is moving very slow in this photo set. But a merged time lapse will be looking like this one. So you can see the cloud is moving in super fast speed and people are walking in super fast speed. This is how the end result will be, the time lapse will be. So I'll show you how to do this photo merge with PowerDirector. So back again to PowerDirector's full feature editor mode. Okay, and the first thing I do usually is cleaning the stock image because I'm not using them. Then you can select all and drag and drop all the photos to PowerDirector. And the next step is in this media room, select all, press Ctrl-A to select all, and drop them to timeline. Okay, now they are in order, but each of the folder, the duration is 5 seconds, which is too long for me. So how to make them to 1 frame per second? You can click on Slideshow and select the last template. It's a time-lapse template. And click on Next. Okay, let's have a quick preview. Okay, it's looking a bit jittery because remember all this, each frame is a very high resolution photo. So it's a bit heavy to the computer. So for most time-lapse slideshow, you cannot preview it until you render it. And how to set the interval of each photo, click on Customize. So you can set 1 frame per photo. Click OK, and click Next, and go back to the advanced editing mode. Okay, so now that you already got the time-lapse clip. And the next step is export it to a video. So go to Produce, and you can choose what type of file you want to produce to. So we mentioned that PowerDirector supports 2K and 4K photos. So you can either choose H.264 AVC or HEVC or XAVCS. This profile all supports a 4K profile. So let's choose the MPEG-4 and select, you can see here's a 4K resolution or 2K resolution. And once it's done, click Start to start producing. Okay, and now that I already got one clip rendered, then I already show you the render result. Now that I want to merge all these photos into a big project. So I'll show you what will be the end result look like. Okay, and how to do this? Let's start our demonstration. So I'm having a half finished project here. I will not go through with the whole production flow for the video because it's very common from our previous demos. Okay. All right, I heard my steps saying I'm going a little bit too fast, so I'll speak slower. All right, so now I got a project. This is a half-finished project being imported. So this is the finished project that I'm having several clips put in order, and I'm having a little globe in the first frame, and in second cut that I'm having some animated text overlay on the video, and between two clips, I'm having airplane transition effects. So I'll show you how to do this to make our final production video. So the first one is drag and drop your source to your timeline. So let's starting from this one. This is taken in Flora Expo in Taipei City. You can see the cloud is moving in very pleasing speed. And Next, we want to do something like this, that at the beginning of the video, the background itself is blurred so that I can overlay my text and animate the object without any interfere. And in second shot, that everything become clear. So let me show you how to add this effect. Okay, and this one clip is a little bit too long for me, so I can click on two edges and trim it down a little bit. So now I'm having a shorter clip. And to control the blur effect, we can go to the effect room. It's a second tab. And if you don't know where it is, you can type in here to search for blur. Okay, so I'll use this Gaussian blur effect. Drag and drop it on the clips. So let's have a quick look. Okay, you can see now the whole clip is very blurred, but I want it to be like a cutting in the middle, that it's like a focusing to the right focus point. How to do that? Click on the clip. You can see here there's an effect tab. Click on effect. You can see the Gaussian blur effect is being applied on the video. And there's one very useful and common tool in PowerDirector, which is a keyframe. And what is a keyframe? Let's say keyframe is a way to control the movement of objects of whatever in video editing software, and also for like animation. So if you set at the frame 1, the condition of something is 0, and frame 10, the condition of something, it can be an effect or it can be a movement, is 10, then PowerDirector will help you to calculate the in-between frames from 1 to 9 and make this effect like a moving through each frames. So to use a keyframe, click on keyframe icon. So a keyframe look like this mark at the beginning, at the end. This is the default keyframe. So I want to do like in second 4, that before second 4, everything is blurred. But starting from second 5, everything become clear. So I can drag and drop to 4 seconds and add a keyframe by clicking on this, and go to second 5 and adding another keyframe. So now that when your cursor is on the keyframe, that you will in red, let you know that you are now in this frame. So go to the first frame. I want a very strong effect, say 30 degrees of a Gaussian blur, and until second 4, that it's still 30 degrees. Okay, but in second 5, all of a sudden, that all the effects are gone. I set it back to 1, and in less frame, I set it back to 1. Okay, so now the first one, 30, 30, 1, 1. So let's see how the keyframe will work on this clip. Okay, so you can see that in the first interval that everything is blurred, and in the second interval it's changing from 30 to 1. So for example, if I drag to the center, you can see what is changing on this side, that actually the number is dropping when I'm dragging to the right. And from third point to fourth point, it's 1, means I didn't apply the effect on it. So I'm satisfied with this one. So I can close the effect room and drop it in place. Okay, then next I'll show you how to do this kind of movement in the second shot. So this one is our rendered video. You can see the video is like slowly panning up and slightly zooming. And how to do this? So this is a clip I just rendered. I can drag and drop to the timeline. So you can see this one is like fixed to timeline, that it actually didn't change at all. It didn't move at all. So how to use this? We're using the keyframe control room. Okay, so double click on the clip. We will enter the PIP designer. The PIP means picture-in-picture in PowerDirector, which means you can have picture A, it can be a video or a graphic, and overlaying on picture B, which can also be a video or a graphic. Okay, so to adjust the size of this clip, you can see there are 4 control points by the side. So I can first rearrange, so make a 2-side fit to the edge. So I already switch on the green line, so you can see this actually is my 16:9 working space. Then next, I'll show you how to move this video. So I'll set here are several parameters at the side of the timeline. So the first one, I set the scale. I put the keyframe at the beginning, and the last one will be automatically add. So I want it to be like zooming in. So when zooming in, that means that the beginning frame, everything is large. So I can scale it up a bit, and go to the last frame. Actually, it's fixed to my original configuration, but the position is a bit changed, so I move it back. So let's see it again. Okay, so you can see it's like a slowly zooming, but I also want the camera to pan from the cloud first, then moving to the ground. So I can set the position, the keyframe, the same. When I add one keyframe, it will create the beginning keyframe and the ending keyframe. So the beginning point, I want everything like more focused to the cloud, and the ending is more focused to the building. Okay, let's see how it looks like. Hey, this pretty much is the effect I want, so I can click Save. Then this object is being placed on my timeline. So I'm happy, so I drag it to my working space and overlaying on the first one. So you can see here, so when overlaying, when there are overlapping parts, use a crossfade button pop out. So you can click a crossfade. That PowerDirector will auto insert a fading effect between 2 clips. But what about I want to change this effect? I think it's looking a little dull. So I can click on the transition room, and I want to choose another, which is the little airplane we see in the demo. Let me see. Okay. Here's the airplane one, so I can drag and drop on the exactly auto crossfade effect. Then PowerDirector will replace that effect with my new transition. All right, so this is pretty much set. Now I want to add some titles to it. So at the beginning of the video, I want to have this all around the globe icon showing like this one. So you can go to the PIP room, click on this one, and drag and drop to the timeline, the second timeline. So as everyone remember that the larger timeline track number means it's in upper layer. So now this object is being inserted, overlaid on the video. Then the second one, I want to add this really nicely looking chromatic style text to timeline, so I can go to title room, this one. And this effect is an effect from NewBlue. It's one of our plugin partner that they are producing some very high quality titles or video effects. So to use Titler, you can go to Title Room and click on NewBlue. You'll see Titler Pro. By the way, Titler Pro is only available for PowerDirector Ultimate, certain Ultimate and higher version. So if you are using Ultra, you cannot find this Titler Pro. Okay, so drag and drop it on my timeline. So you can see here is the text being inserted. And how to edit this is the same. Double click on it. You enter the title room. So you can enter your text here. Okay, looks pretty nice. And what if I want to change the style? There in the library of the titler, there are actually different templates to choose. And the first one is effect, means the animated effect of your title set. And the third one is style, means the looking of your titles. And the last one is transitions, which means how you control the beginning and ending of your title set. So first, I'll select this one, Chrome to my title set. And you can mouse over it, you can see a quick preview of how this text will be looking like. And if you like it, drag and drop it on the text on this track. So you can see this is the title. Then the next step, I want to make the text. You remember in our previous demo video that the text is like flipping from left to right. It's slowly moving from left to right. So how to add that? You can go to the effect room, go to animation, and I can find a turn. That one is a turn effect. So you can also preview what each effect looking like when mouse over the clip. Okay, like if I want a slow turn, okay, this slow turn effect looks like what I want, so I can drag and drop to my timeline. But you can see here's how it looks like. That at the beginning it's to the center, and dragging to the end, it's like a slightly to the right side. But I want to change the rotational direction. How do I change that? You can see here is a start and end point control. So I want it to starting from left and ending to the center, like this one. You can have a preview here. Okay, this one look like what I want. So it's good. And it's still a little bit boring that I'm having the text like fixing there. So you can go back to library and select on transitions and go to animations. So you can choose a lot of different transition effects. Like if I want to have the text fading, this one is a word by word or slow finish. Okay, so I can choose a word by word at the beginning. And in the ending, I want another effect. I usually use this city light and flickering. It's like the light is being turned off. So I can drag it to the end of the clip, which will give you this kind of ending effects. Okay, so if everything works fine for you, you can click close to exit the title room, and this object will be bring to your timeline. All right, and to make this title shorter, just click on it and drag to side, and you can trim this title. Okay, so that's a demo today for PowerDirector. And wow, we only got 5 minutes to go. I still got PhotoDirector to go. So today we probably will have extended the course for 10 minutes. Let me know if anyone had concern about that, or if you want to keep this course to next month, to July. But anyway, let's go back to PhotoDirector. So PhotoDirector is another exciting app from CyberLink. It's a photo editing software. So I know some of you may be using it already, and some of you are using Photoshop. And PhotoDirector is more like a photography workflow, so which provide you the capability of managing your photo. This is what Photoshop cannot do. And also you can easily adjust your photos and doing some editing, like getting rid of some objects you don't want in your photos. Okay, and also you can use PhotoDirector to do some watermark on your photos. So let me quickly show you the interface of PhotoDirector. So on entering, you'll see a list of photos being imported. So to import a photo, you can click on Import, which allows you to import single photos, several photos, or folders, or directly from camera or from cloud. So here I already have some photos being imported. Like this one is what we see in the first demo, the photos from Fukuoka. And some photos I took from London. I visited there last June. It was super nice because the weather was pleasing, no rain, not like a typical London. Okay, and some photo from my trip to Tokyo. Okay, so I'll quickly show you some quick examples of how to editing photos. So PhotoDirector also allows you to do some tag control. For example, here's a list of tags. So if I want to create a tag, I can name it Big Ben. Create it. And I go back to London's folder. I see here's Big Ben. 3 photos of Big Ben, so I can drag and drop to Big Ben's folder. So they click on this tag, you will only see these 3 photos of Big Ben. It's a really handy way for you to categorize your travel photos by locations. Okay, so I already created a photo which is for demo, and I will quickly walk through with you some commonly see problems when taking travel photo. So first one, you can see this photo I took in Tokyo, and it's not fixed to the correct horizontal point, and I want to rotate it and to crop it. How do I do that? So you can go to the adjustment room, and it's in regional adjustment tool. The first tab, it's a cropping and straighten tool. So click on it, you will see the control point showing up by the edges of the photos. So you can either do cropping by moving the edge, or you can do rotating by clicking on the edge. So I want this to be more fixed to the center, like this one. So the bright area means the cropped result, and the gray area means that the part being cropped. So if you're satisfied with this, click done. Then you can see the photos were being cropped in the correct place. Okay, then let's go to my second demonstration. And another issue that we usually meet in a trip is that the light issue. So like this one I took in British Museum because the whole ceiling, the sphere, is in glass. So it's pretty bright, but sometimes it will cause the incorrect white balance of your photos. And let me quickly explain what is white balance. It means basing from the light condition, and your camera will be calculating what's the correct color temperature of your photos. So like this one, my camera actually made a mistake. So the white point seems to be very bluey. So how to remove that? You can select this photo, go to adjustment room. Okay, so there is another tool under global adjustment tool. The first one is white balance. So you can click on this little picker and click on the point which were supposed to be white. All right, so you can see now, okay, the ceiling is looking super good. It's looking nice. It's in the correct white color already. But I think here are writing some words like Queen Elizabeth, blah, 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 but I cannot see very clear how these words will be popping up because the light is too low here. So usually to make it more dramatic, we'll use HDR effect to enhance some low light area. So I slightly click the glow, so you can see the text were being highlighted, and slightly select the edge. So you can see this text seems to come to life. Looks nice. Okay, and I look back to this photo, I find, wow, here are some stands on the ceiling, not looking very good. I want to get rid of these stands. How to do that? So we are having another tool. It's called the editing tool, the content-aware removal tool, which you can select some region and remove it in one click. So to use it, go to Edit tab here and select on Object Removals, Content-aware removal tool. Entering this interface, you will see your mouse cursor becomes brush. So you can mouse scroll up or scroll down to change the selection area. So for example, I want to get rid of these 3 dots. Select a region. Okay, looks good. Click Apply. Wow, so you can see now this stand is being taken away. Where was it? So if you want to see the original photo, click on this pen tool. See, it's in very not like a troll color. It's in blue, but after doing the white balance, it's in white. Okay, and using the content-aware removal, you can remove this unpleasant little spot here. Okay, so that's some quick tool for you to do. So the content-aware removal also can help you to remove something like the photo bumps if some people jumping into your photo. So you can use this tool to remove it. It's pretty easy and handy. Okay, so next we want to show you some other examples of PhotoDirector. That it's got a lot of powerful adjustment tool, but we are running out of time today, so I'll show you how to do one-click adjustment. So here in the adjustment tab, there's a preset. So preset, it's a fixed set of configurations. So you can click on each preset to see how the end result is looking alike. So like this HDR monochrome style, it's like 1090 style lantern, looks pretty nice. And also, after you adjust the photo, you can save it as a preset. So like this one, I create a preset before. It's a Retro HDR. I made it myself. So it's applying some HDR effect to make the photo stands out. And I lower the saturation and higher the color temperature. So it's looking like 60s old photos from 1960. Okay, so this is the original photo. The lighting isn't good. But after apply it, you can see all the detail under the bridge are being highlighted. Okay, and the last part, I'll show you quickly how to add your personalized watermark to the photo. So entering editing room, and you will find frames and watermarks at the bottom. And click on watermark creator. You enter this interface, which allows you to add maybe a line or a frame to the photo or no frame. So usually I'll choose a line and I'll put it to the lower place. And I want the color be black, but with a little bit opacity. Okay, then next I can adding some text. So for example, this one is London. So I can click add text and write London. And I can change the font color to say white and change the font face, this one, to MS Exotic, and make the font size smaller and bring a bit of opacity and drop in a little shadow and drag it to the place I want. And what if I want to add the little icon in front of it? You can go to the Add Image tab, click on Add Image, and click on the transparent PNG image. You can put it here, looking nice. Now I want everyone to know this photo is taken by me. So the last one is the Copyright tab, which allows you to enter your name, the date being taken, and the name of the camera, aperture, focal length, ISO, shutter speed, and assign the color of the font. Okay, so you can see now here's the watermark. So once everything is done, you can save this as a template. Say I name it to London. Okay, and go back to library. I'll go selecting all the photos I took in London and go back to the edit room and go to watermark template. Choose this template I just created. So you can see all the photos are now with this London template, London watermark already. And if you want to share it, you can export it to single photos, or you can share directly to Facebook, Flickr, or CyberLink Cloud, or you can publish to directly. Okay, that's pretty much is the demo for PhotoDirector. And we got in first section is PowerDirector. So a quick recap of what we've talked about today. So first section, we talk about how to create a photo slideshow with a slideshow creator. And the second section, we talk about using the theme designer to mix your videos and photos into animated slideshow. And the third part, we show you how to create time-lapse video from a set of time-lapse photos. And in the fourth part, we are talking about how to add these stylish titles and effects for your travel video. And the last part is talking about using PhotoDirector to edit and manage your photos. So I really hope all of you enjoy this course. And if you think today's course is too fast, then don't worry. We'll be publishing this video shortly tomorrow. So you can access the video from the same link tomorrow to rewatch it again and again. And before we ending the